What the hell is that, ladies and gentlemen? Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm TRACER, and what we're going to do in this video is show you some crazy stuff from the very early development of Overwatch. There's going to be Genji with his blade out. There's going to be Hanzo Caterpillar madness. And also this. Now, this is brand new. So this is from a blog post that was put up onto the Overwatch official website about 12, 13 hours ago. And this shows some very, early footage of Hanzo. But what the whole post is about is some of the developers talking about their fondest memories of Overwatch. Of course, Overwatch is 4 years old and all of that good stuff. Anyway, this is from Tim Ford, Assistant Technical Director. And what he's doing here is showing off the Hanzo wall ride. And it's just ridiculous. Look at it. Now, obviously, Hanzo is very early here. Look at his bow. It looks like he's kind of got McCree's Peacekeeper in the middle of it. But you'll notice that also he seems to have Pharah's ultimate, or I guess that's Pharah's ultimate. They're probably just using assets from the UI. And of course, in the bottom left of the screen, there's just a Hanzo sort of concept art for his character portrait. Yeah. But what you're probably noticing here is Hanzo can wall ride. He can double jump, he can wall climb, he can do everything. And Tim Ford actually says this. He said, "We eventually split the vertical wall climb for the Shimada brothers from the horizontal wall ride for Lucio. Gameplay engineers like me are responsible for creating and supporting all the wacky game mechanics a cast of heroes bring to bear. As we tell people who aren't familiar with what we do, gameplay engineers are the ones who make Mario jump. We've somehow managed to jam 32 games into one, as each hero possesses new challenges to game simulation, feel and fun. For gameplay engineers, Overwatch is the gift that keeps on giving." So basically, Tim is the guy heading up the team who comes up with the new stuff, the way the heroes function. So they must have really enjoyed doing Echo. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? But you can also see from this how Blizzard like to take stuff that they've made for maybe one hero, break it all down, and start applying it to different heroes, which I think is really cool. But seeing this kind of stuff, I absolutely love it. And that jump there from Hanzo over that distance is absolutely ridiculous. All right, so what about this? So this is a skin for TRACER. You can probably tell TRACER's got, I think that's the Pacific, or I think it's the All-Star TRACER Pacific All-Star weapon model. What was it? It's like the Atlantis TRACER. I forget what it is. But this is TRACER. Now, this is because it's from Dylan Jones, who's the lead character technical artist. And this is what he said. "Another great memory. Someone on the internet was confused about what a character designer was. They thought that the lead hero designer, which is Jeff Goodman, drew up the concepts for all of the heroes. Goodman, who found that thought hilarious, replied to the email with a joke stick figure TRACER, and to keep the joke going, I made a skin out of Goodman's brilliant concept." So that's what this is. Now, Jeff Goodman, he's the hero designer. He comes up with the ideas for the abilities, the way the heroes work. He doesn't design the visual look of them. That's exactly what the lead character technical artists and character artists and all those guys kind of do. So this is really cool. This is not a skin, guys, and it's not going into the game. Although I believe it's been remade in the workshop already, which is absolutely mental. So what about going back in time? This is sickening on a lot of different levels. So this is the original concept for Hanzo. Now, this is on a very early version as well of Gibraltar. Now, what Hanzo does here is kind of ridiculous. So he's got his sword out all of the time. He doesn't have his shurikens. He just runs around and he slashes you with his ulti. So basically, he's just got his ulti available to himself all of the time. He doesn't care. But there's also something else he can do, and you can sort of see it at the start of this video clip as he runs forward and slashes down that Genji running away. He's hanging on a wall. That's right. This Genji could perch himself on the wall and lay in wait, and if you come through, jump down and just slash the crap out of you. It was decided that this was slightly OP, and it wasn't that fun to play, because when somebody rushes you with a katana and chops you to pieces and you're dead, it doesn't really make for exciting gameplay. So they decided to make this kind of Hanzo's, Genji even, I should say, Genji's ultimate. Yeah, disgusting. I mean, that is disgusting. So what about Giant Caterpillar? Now, this is the very early testing of Hanzo's ultimate. If you look at Hanzo's weapon here, it doesn't look as developed as it did in the very first clip I showed you with Hanzo's wall ride going on. This is even earlier than that then. So what they're doing here is testing obviously the double dragons, right? Yeah, to make it fast and quick and dirty, they've just got a series of massive circles or spheres which he throws forward, and to sort of have a bit of a laugh, they put 2 eyes on it because, you know, why not? So yeah, that's very early testing there of Hanzo's ulti, which I think is super cool. Like, this stuff is super cool. And again, there is a version of this in the workshop, which again is ridiculous. So keeping on Hanzo, this is Hanzo's very early character select screen. And he's just basically pasted onto Reaper here because he's standing there like Reaper. But what I really like about this is you can see the very early heroes, but look at Hanzo and look at Winston. They've got WIP, which means work in progress. They still haven't decided on the portraits, it looks like there. But everybody else they're kind of happy with. That's really cool. This is Bastion's first day. Yeah. So apparently it was very difficult to make a transforming robot. And this is what happened. Oh dear. Now I like this because you can see some different bits of UI element here, which are not actually used. Like you can kind of see the box selection around the character. That's really cool. I mean, we don't see that in the game, but yeah. Also, Zen's got like Tracer's weapon and Reaper's hand. What the hell? Talking of Reaper, this is super early. This is the earliest footage I think we've got of Overwatch like gameplay. There is earlier footage of Tracer, I think, moving around in a very basic environment. But this is Reaper's Death Blossom. And what is mega cool about this is you can see Reaper spinning around doing his Death Blossom. But do you notice the thing that Reaper just collected, those spheres? They were the old soul globes that when Reaper killed someone, they'd drop it on the floor. Actually, did they just drop on the floor when anyone died? I don't remember. I think it was when Reaper killed them. And they'd heal him if he went over them. And they got rid of that mechanic because it was kind of a bit janky. And then they just gave him lifesteal, if you remember. So there you go. But this is so cool. The good thing about this, though, is you can see the animations. I mean, Pharaoh looks questionable there. There's no UI to speak of. But Reaper looks kind of, I want to say, kind of far along there. Like, his Hellfire shotguns actually look like what they look like in the game right now, obviously without any kind of texture on them or anything. That's really cool to see. So cool this stuff is. I love seeing this stuff. Amazing. And unlucky there, Tracer eating a rocket and getting destroyed. So what about the victory screen? Right, this made me laugh as well. This is very early testing of the victory screen where they're just sort of in the ground somewhere. In it's probably King's Row, to be honest, because a lot of stuff was tested on King's Row. But you can see 2 Torbs, a Hanzo, a Widow, a Reinhardt, and a Bastion. So talking to King's Row, this is the earliest footage I could find of King's Row. Now, you'll notice there might be something actually on the payload if you look closely. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Also, it's like a little truck as well. I think this is the first point of King's Row, and obviously it sees a lot of changes before it goes live. But it's really cool to see this early stuff because this is what the devs do. They block out a map like this. They obviously play through it and sort of test it, trying to refine it and see what's going on. It's just really cool to see old footage, and it kind of makes you realize how far Overwatch has come in the last 4 years of the game being live. Now, this footage is from like 2013, so it might even be 2014, but it's ridiculously old. So you can see there's been a lot of time. So for the developers, Overwatch is basically this 7 or 8 year old game. That is insane. So what is this? Well, I'm going to end the video on this because this is really cool. So this is Jeff's addition to the post on the Overwatch website. Now, what Jeff says is happening here is, so he basically stood there in the magical darkness of the BlizzCon backstage, watching Chris prepare to share this thing that we have been working on with the world. I knew all of Team 4 was sitting out in the audience with their families and loved ones, emotionally waiting for this moment. I remember thinking to myself, I wish the whole team could be here with me right now to watch Chris take the stage. And that's when I got out my phone and I started to film him, because I wanted Team 4 to be able to feel the moment with me. In the brief 36-second video, you can hear my good friend Dustin Browder, the game director for StarCraft 2, wrap up his speech and call Chris out. You could feel the energy of the tens of thousands of fans packed into that room, and knowing that there was tens of millions more watching around the world, I felt the butterflies fly out of my stomach and take to the stage with Chris as he introduced the world to Overwatch. So yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm going to play the audio as well at the end of the clip so you guys can just hear it. But yeah, I really love this kind of stuff. Getting to see into the behind the scenes of very early Overwatch development to me is just so cool. So I love it when the devs put out this kind of mad old footage, especially when it's new stuff we haven't seen, like the stuff from Tim Ford with the Hanzo wall climb, because that is just mental. Can you imagine Hanzo if he had that? It would be absolutely ridiculous. And it makes me wonder what kind of stuff they've made and then they haven't used, or maybe they're going to use that stuff for Overwatch too. Who knows? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this trip down Overwatch memory lane, and I'm going to hand this over to Jeff's awesome video footage, and yeah, catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.